What's up guys, Ruddy Walker here. Today I'm going to show you guys how I got 18 credit cards. Right. So first things first, I need you to go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. That way this could get out around so everybody could be learning these types of techniques. If you do not feel like getting this many accounts, this many cards, then good. You know, you're probably a grown adult and you can make your own decisions, so cool. If you're watching this, just please remember that this doesn't mean that everybody has to do this. We all choose to run our finances differently. First thing I want to start off with is kind of just going over each card and kind of what they do for me. This is my Capital One Platinum. To be honest, I don't really use it that much. It was definitely more of a starter card. So if I look at my Platinum Capital One card, yeah, that one is at a $500 limit. So nothing too special. It's just kind of a starter card to get me involved in credit. So that's my first card that I got. Actually, I think it was more my second one, but it doesn't really matter. Just know that I had like 4 or 5 starter cards. The other two were 2 Credit Ones. These are both different Credit One cards. I wouldn't recommend these guys, although they are easy. So if you have no other choice, these 2 cards are easy to get into. Both of my Credit One accounts, I have an 800 on one and then I have an 1100 limit on the other. Super small limits on some of these beginner cards, just because that's what you got to do to get your first few cards. Another thing is just an Amazon store card. So this one I got about $1,000 limit, barely use it. You know, in the beginning I did use all of them a bunch. The first card I remember really getting a good balance on it was my Best Buy. They originally gave me a $2,500 limit, but then they bumped it up to $4,000 after using it over the years. So the Best Buy one is cool. That's card number 5. So that was when they really kind of gave me something to remember. And then card 6 was even better, the Discover It. I don't know if you guys have heard of the Discover It, but it is a great card. They gave me $7,000 right off the bat. And that was after I thought, oh, the $4,000 one is cool, but then they gave me the $7,000. And then after that, I decided to make my way over to Chase and establish a card with them. I ended up going with the Chase Freedom Unlimited. They were nice enough to give me a $2,500 limit. That's still what it is today. I really like Chase, although I really don't use the card as much as I probably should, but I still want to keep that account open because that's a good bank to have a credit card with. If you understand the 524 rule, which I'll never be able to get because I constantly get new cards all the time. At least 1 or 2 in your portfolio for cards is good. US Bank Platinum card, nothing special. The only thing cool about it is they gave me a $9,000 limit. And just so you know guys, I would say the space between all these cards and getting them are at least anywhere from 6 to 8 months, like in between me applying for these cards. With the exception of like the first 3, it took like a year or 2 to get the other ones, just because I had to rebuild some credit. I had some bad debts and stuff. Just keep in mind, this all didn't happen overnight, but if you start your credit off right, definitely get new limits, even sooner sometimes. Another one I kind of went for, which is the Double Cash Citibank. They gave me a $2,000 limit. Another one I don't quite use a ton, but honestly, I just love getting new cards because I get to build a relationship with that institution. And if I ever need credit in the future, it works out well. This card was actually the first card I ever got. I just upgraded to the Cash Plus. This card was actually just a student US Bank card. It's still relatively low. I don't use it a ton. It's got a $600 limit on it. Not a lot of usage on it. It's definitely readily available if needed. Next one after that, I wanted to work with Apple. First off, they got the metal card. Anyone wants a metal card, like, come on. Other than that, they gave me a good $5,000. So it gets a lot of usage because I use the points, because I pay like my Apple Music, all that stuff, all on this little subscription things. That's what I use this card for. And you know, it's just metal and it's white and it looks cool. Yeah, that's how I use my Apple Card. It's been a good workhorse for me. I had to get my first AMEX, which was the Hilton Honors. I've already gotten 3 hotel stays with this when I was in Phoenix, and it was pretty cool. So you can use these for your points. That's joint with me and my girlfriend. We have, I think we got 2,500, so not a crazy balance. And then this one, this was actually another upgrade card that I used to have that was like just the original Capital One secured card. I was able to upgrade from the secured card and get into the Quicksilver. I ended up getting a $1,500 limit for. Not a lot of usage, but it's okay. Right about now we're at, let's see, 12, 13, so that's card 13. Card 14 is a little bit funny, but it's Victoria's Secret. No, I do not shop at Victoria's Secret, but my girlfriend does. It's just an easy store card to get. And I don't really get store cards because they don't report that well, depending on what it is, and there's just weird things about them sometimes. But Victoria's Secret reports on the credit report, it's like a card that anyone can get. Real nice and easy card to use. Boom. Next thing after that I was pretty excited for was getting my first actual business credit card. And I had to personal guarantee it, but it is my first business. It was a $7,000 limit, and I highly recommend it because part of being a business credit, you can use credit and not have to worry about it. Right now, I'm buying a house right now. It does not show up on my personal credit. Nowhere on it is it showing that I'm using this card in my credit profile, which is really powerful. So yes, I was able to buy a laptop still and make other purchases and stuff. So business credit can be a great thing if you use it wisely. This guy right here is, he's one of my newest cards, and he's one of my highest limits. His limit is $17,500. This is Homestreet Bank. I worked with a program called Fund&Grow, and they basically just helped me acquire new credit accounts. This was one of them that they helped me acquire. So was the business card with the American Express. So that's a nice fat limit right there. And then they also helped me acquire another business card with Homestreet. And this business card is $4,000. You know, just another great way to leverage business credit, not have to use it with your personal credit. So if you're trying to get a loan or something, that doesn't need to be on your information. And then last but not least, had to get another metal one. Had to get that Verizon one, another $5,000 limit, very similar to the Apple card this is. I think I save like 10 or 20 bucks on my Verizon bill every month. I only use this card to pay my Verizon bill. So, you know, every card, you know, usually has their own purpose, or maybe they were just used to help me acquire credit in the beginning. That's how I use my 18 credit cards. Some of my cards, they don't get much usage just because the limit is really small and I don't want to use it unless it's like necessary, because usually I'll make a big purchase and then I'll plan to just pay it off either in increments of like a month or maybe 2 months if it's like a bigger purchase. It just depends on what we're doing, and that's how we leverage our credit. Really, it was just me aggressively applying every 6 months, making payments on time, paying down my debts. I did even leave balances on it, to be honest, but I've always kept them under 30%. Usually at 10 or 5%. So I've always kept my balances very low compared to my limits. And then I've always applied after 6 months or more. So that Chase 524 rule, it's gonna be difficult for me to get that just because I'm always getting new cars, but I'm okay with that. That's kind of how I use my credit cards. I'm still able to get a mortgage. So none of these things are stopping me from doing what I want. Because I know that people say, hey, if you do that, you're gonna mess your credit up. None of that stuff is necessarily true. You just have to understand how to manage your credit. Just because I have a bunch of it, it does not affect me being able to get more of it. If anything, it shows them even more. Look at how much cards and stuff he has and is managing. That's about $72,000 worth of credit right there. But at most, it's probably been at $2,000 or $3,000 actually spent in a time. Now, will that change? Yes, probably. I'm investing in my first investment property for real estate. So expenses with the house, of course, can come up, and those can be costly. Just using this debt to help leverage repairs, get things handled, and that way the property will still be in good shape and can be paid off over time. That is the goal. And also I will explain more about how I plan to get business credit in my future episodes so that my personal credit is no longer what I have to rely on. All right guys, well thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please comment, please like and subscribe. Later guys.